Hello everyone, welcome back to Dakota's Political Circle, and today we are talking about the West Virginia election primary results. The reason I'm talking about this is obviously I'm from West Virginia. I like West Virginia politics and all that kind of stuff. So if you're a West Virginia resident or you just like West Virginia politics, I like talking about it sometimes. I definitely don't talk about it as much as I talk about U.S. politics, but I really like talking about it sometimes just for fun because it is my home state. So these videos just come at rare occasions when it happens. I don't know when my next video will be. It usually, for these videos, I'd probably have them, I don't know, like at random. Like if there's a random bill that passes through the West Virginia, to West Virginia and gets signed by the governor, I'd post about that. Primary results, I post about those. I also post about the election results. So, I mean, other than that, that's basically what I usually do with these types of videos most of the time. I don't really talk about local. Some people want to talk about local. Some people from my county that do follow. I don't really talk about local because, I mean, it's not a good idea to talk about local elections. And also, I don't know if it really matters much because I mainly post about U.S. politics most of the time. So this is just for fun, basically. But yeah, let's get into this. So President Biden, he basically got 70% in West Virginia, which is pretty low for a Democrat. Now, obviously, West Virginia is a big Republican state. Remember that. But him getting this low in a state that's in a Democrat primary is pretty bad. That just shows that people in West Virginia, even the Democrats, don't even want Biden. And 70% only want Biden. That's pretty bad. And 11% want Jason Palmer. It just shows not a lot of people want Biden at all. Not literally, some of these counties literally don't want Biden, period. Now he didn't lose a single county, obviously, but there were some that got closer than usual, which is very surprising. But let's go to Trump now. So Trump almost got 90% in the primary. He got every single county. He got 88%, and Nikki Haley got 9%. Nikki Haley basically got decimated in West Virginia, which makes sense because West Virginia is a huge Trump country. So I think that this was expected, but at the same time, it just shows Nikki Haley is not liked in West Virginia, and no one cares about Nikki Haley in West Virginia. West Virginia is a big Trump state, and he's definitely going to win West Virginia in the election come November. I mean, he's going to win it no matter what anyway. But it just shows that no one supports really Nikki Haley in West Virginia at all. I mean, literally look at all these size of leads. Like literally almost every single one is big. Even this one's big, 91%. I don't even think there's really any smaller ones. Literally every one is literally solid red. But yeah, Trump leading big in West Virginia. And then here's the Senate. This is a big one. So Jim Justice decimated Alex Mooney in the Senate race, which was expected. I did vote for Jim Justice. Alex Mooney is also a great candidate. He's just not as a big name as Jim Justice. It's expected that Jim Justice would have won this, regardless. He's just a really famous candidate in West Virginia. Obviously, everyone in West Virginia knows him for Baby Dog. They know him as from West Virginia. The way he talks is definitely what not most West Virginians talk about, but more Southern West Virginians talk about. Like, there's a reason why he's won so big down in these counties down here, because everyone supports him in the smaller ones. And up here, like they're bigger, but not as big. But he just has huge support in West Virginia, and I expected Jim Justice to win no matter what, because Jim Justice is just a big. He's a big person in West Virginia. A lot of people just know him. It's like Joe Manchin. What's crazy is if Joe Manchin would have stayed in this race, Jim Justice probably would have beat Joe Manchin by a decent amount, because Jim Justice is just that well known and also liked. Alex Mooney, on the other hand, he's a great guy. He has great policy. I really hope he runs for something else in the future, maybe against Shelley Moore Capito, anything like that. Like, I'd vote for Alex Mooney in that. If he ran for House again, maybe. But as of right now, he shouldn't have took this Senate race, especially against Jim Justice. And also Jim Justice was Trump endorsed, so he was going to win regardless. But it's cool to see Jim Justice win. But at the same time, I hope Alex Mooney succeeds in something else later down the road. If he runs for Senate again, but against Capito, or runs for House again, he was pretty decent in House. But yeah, that's showing the Senate right now. Now here's a big one right here. Well, actually, I want to show this really quick first. So Glenn Elliott won. I don't know Glenn Elliott or Shrewsbury, but I do know Don Blankenship. I used to be a big Don Blankenship supporter when I was in high school. I went to the debate, if you remember the debate when it was with Morrissey. It was with Fox News, I believe. It was with Morrissey and I think Evan Jenkins and Don Blankenship. I was a big supporter of Don Blankenship. I got to meet Don Blankenship. I shook his hand. He's an awesome dude. Well, at the time he was. And then after he lost that primary, which obviously was because of who Trump endorsed, he endorsed Patrick Morrissey, which wasn't a great candidate at the time. But Don Blankenship lost, and he decided to run for president. Did a horrible thing for that. He shouldn't have done that. And then now he's deciding to run for Democrat Senate. It's probably the dumbest thing he could do. But honestly, I guess the only way he could have won was do this. Honestly, in my opinion, he should have just ran for maybe House. He could have ran for U.S. House, and he could have won. But instead, he just wants to run for Senate and keep running for Senate. I mean, he could have even ran for governor, which I don't think he would have won, but he could have ran for governor too. But instead, he ran for Senate in the Democrat primary, which I knew he was going to lose regardless. But he actually got a decent amount of votes, which I'm very surprised. He got 18%, which was still third place, but that's a decent amount of votes. I believe the people that probably voted for him were either former Blankenship supporters or they wanted someone that could actually beat Justice. So, I mean, that's probably who they were. And a couple of counties did vote for Don Blankenship. Me personally, if I voted, I probably would have. If I was voting in the Democrat one, I definitely would have voted for Don Blankenship. He has a lot of conservative values. He's just really messed up with how he's been doing in candidacy runs. He needs to think more lower than higher. He thinks he can be president. He can't be president and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, enough with Don Blankenship. I don't think he's a great candidate nowadays, but I think if he would have ran for House or something lower, I think he could win. I mean, he's not a bad candidate on paper, and I did used to support him, but he'd really have to up his game if he really wants support from West Virginia as of right now. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's the Democrat primary. So let's do this one, this governor one. This is an important one. So Patrick Morrissey won the governor race. Now, in my opinion, he was my second choice. I picked Chris Miller, but I wanted Patrick Morrissey or Chris Miller. That was my two choices. And I picked Chris Miller because I like Chris Miller better. He's better on issues, and he's also he seems more conservative than Patrick Morrissey, and also talks better than Patrick Morrissey does. He has better. He talks to the public better than Patrick Morrissey can. More Capito was my least favorite choice. More Capito, I'm happy he didn't win. I'm glad he didn't win. If More Capito would have won, I would have been very, very upset. And honestly, I probably would have voted third party in the election in November, because I just wouldn't have voted for more Capito, because I just don't trust him. He acts like one of those Washington Republicans that are like his mother. His mother is Shelley Moore Capito. I used to like Shelley Moore Capito, but she's a very, very, very she's the one that, like, one of those Republicans that goes with the flow so she can get elected each time. She's not like staunch on her opinions, I guess you could say. And then there's Jim Justice that's staunch on his opinions, and he doesn't care what others think. That's why I like Jim Justice, just like Alex Mooney. I like him like that. Morrissey acts like that too, and also Chris Miller. But More Capito acts like his mother in some ways. That's why I don't trust More Capito. He acts like a normal politician, and I just don't like that whatsoever. I'm surprised he got so many votes, probably because a lot of people were thinking Shelley More Capito, let's vote for More Capito. So, no, I'm glad he didn't win. I voted for Chris Miller. Chris Miller is an awesome candidate. I'm glad he got the support he did. I'm surprised he didn't get less than 20%. So I'm glad he at least got somewhat good votes. But I expected him not to win. I just wanted him to win because he is a really great candidate. I hope in the future he does run for something else. I believe he posted on social media about, like, him saying he's not done. So I'm hoping he runs for something in the future. I could actually see him beating Shelley Moore Capito. If he went against Shelley Moore Capito in the future, I think he could actually beat Shelley Moore Capito, because Shelley Moore Capito is not she's a popular name, but she's not as popular as Joe Manchin. I think Chris Miller could beat Shelley Moore Capito if he ran against her. Now, or if he ran for House, he'd probably easily beat whoever's in the House. But obviously not his mother. He's probably not going to face his mother. Yeah, I think Chris Miller is a great candidate, and it sucks he lost. But hopefully he has more. He wants to do more stuff in the future for West Virginia. That would be nice. But Patrick Morrissey won. Patrick Morrissey, a good candidate for West Virginia, a good governor. I will vote for him in November. I trust him. It's not that he's bad on issues. It's just how he acts. He doesn't act like a West Virginian. I don't believe he's from West Virginia either. And if he is, it's very surprising. But I don't think he's from West Virginia, and he doesn't really seem like, I don't know, the way he acts is what's his downfall. That's why a lot of people don't vote for him. He got a Trump endorsement, and he still almost lost to More Capito. So I mean, honestly, I think Patrick Morrisey, he'll be a good governor. I think he'll be a good governor. It's just how he acts. If he acted more, if he acted more like Jim Justice in a way, and like more forceful with how he is, I think Patrick Morrisey could win by bigger numbers than what he has. Patrick Morrisey, a good candidate, definitely a good candidate. I'll support him in November, no matter what. And at least More Capito didn't win, but he needs to work on some things, definitely. So the next one, let me talk about this one. This is the last one to talk about. It is, let me find it. It's not Attorney General. It is down here somewhere. If it shows up, I'm not sure if it does. Yes, here it is. So here's the House. So here's the first one, Miller and Evans. I'm a Carol Miller supporter, so I honestly don't mind that she. I mean, it was more closer than I was expecting, but I like Carol Miller. Carol Miller isn't a bad candidate. I think it's good that she won. This isn't my district, by the way. I'm in the upper half of West Virginia, but I still want to talk about it because Carol Miller is kind of like Chris Miller, but not as Republican as Chris Miller is. But I do think Carol Miller was the good choice here, and I'm not a big fan of Derek Evans, but some people are. I'm glad she won. Definitely a good candidate for the House. But the other one I want to talk about, I'm not too really big on him, but I think he's a good candidate. It's Riley Moore. So Riley Moore, I voted for Riley Moore, but Riley Moore, I don't know him too well. I honestly, this wasn't like a big candidate race. Like, I didn't really know many of these people. I mainly knew Riley Moore. Riley Moore, I believe he ran for, it was either Secretary of State or it was something else. I know he ran, he used to be one of those things, and he did good at his role from what I remember. And I think he could be a good candidate. I'm not sure with his policy. I've looked at his pages. He looks like he has good policy. It's more of a candidate you just got to find out if he's a good candidate. It's not like he's a candidate where, oh, you know he's really good on these issues. You know he's great on these issues. No, it's more like you got to find out if he's good on these issues. So it's more of like, you got to take a chance on Riley Moore. He's the most well-known name in this race. Honestly, if Chris Miller would have ran in this race instead of the governor race, he could have won this race because he's more staunch and he's more. He really could push his views in races. Riley Moore, I mean, he pushed his views on his pages. He's a family guy, and he looks like he has good potential. So I'm not going to hate on Riley Moore whatsoever. I just don't know him that well. But I'm glad he won. I hope he does do well. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's basically all the West Virginia races today. Trump won big. Obviously, Jim Justice won, and Patrick Morrisey won, which was expected. Basically, everything was kind of expected today. So I'm not mad about what ended up happening. My local races, it sucks what happened in my local races, which I don't really want to talk about on the channel, but because it's not really that important. But my local races didn't go the way I wanted them to. I mean, none of them really went the way I wanted them to. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, like this video. I will have more West Virginia videos in the future if anything comes out in bills or anything like that. Or when it's the November election, I will post a West Virginia election video as well, which most likely is just going to be the Republicans winning. But it will show the percentages and stuff, so I can still talk about it. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, guys.